Hello, everybody. Welcome back again for what seems to be episode 15 of Dumbing It Down with Dave. Hello, Dum-Dums. My name is Dave Canyon. I am your one and only solo host here, this episode and every episode, for the fastest podcast on earth, Dumbing It Down with Dave. Traveling at speeds of at least 65 miles an hour. Possibly more. There really are no limitations, except for your imagination. Right now, we are northbound on the New York State Thruway. Actually, episode 14, I told you that I was at work in the truck. That was the, I think, hour and 50-minute broadcast, the one podcast right before this one. So, it is now 5:12 in the morning, and I'm just passing the Ulster Rest area. I'm northbound, just south of Saugerties. So for those of you who are not familiar with New York, you can look it up. Look up Saugerties, and I'm just passing the Ulster Rest area, which is on the southbound side. And in about 6 or 7 miles, I'll be at the Malden Rest area northbound. I'm trying to avoid pulling over and taking a nap, or taking a break, or whatever. I don't have to go to the bathroom or anything like that. So I like to get up to Albany and get home as soon as possible. There is a charity fundraising, whatever you call it, third Sunday of the month pancake breakfast at a place I think they call the Knights of Columbus, or is it the Knights of Pythias, or it's the Elks Lodge. It's not the Elks Lodge, I know that for sure. So it's one of those fraternal, is that what they call it? Fraternal organizations. Anyway, so I want to get home. This is day 5. It's my last day. I often do this podcast in the car on the way home, but I decided to do it now. Why the mood caught me, headed northbound back to Albany, taking a chance here in the truck. I'm not using the same equipment I used the previous episode. I don't think that headset is loud enough. I don't think the microphone is loud enough. It was a very trebly production. No bass at all. And my voice has bass, at least a little bit. Not too much, not Mike Rowe type of bass, but I don't even know if he really has bass, but he has a bottom. There's definitely a bottom to his voice. And I think to have a good sounding voice, you need to have a decent bottom. You really do. Whether it's radio or podcasting, TV show talk host, I think when you think about all the high-pitched voices, they usually are not men who host anything. It's usually the quirky neighbor or some comedian or something like that. So I like to think that I have some sort of a bottom in my voice, which is appetizing to listen to the average listener. Well, anyway, I am it is I guess sunrise already happened, or we're right at sunrise. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at the numbers, but the sky here, where I'm at, is somewhat sunny, but not really. I would say partly cloudy. You know, people say, well, how do you know whether it's partly sunny or partly cloudy? Well, there's really not too much yellow, blaring sun. There's some blue, there's some orange in the distance. Very romantic, if you're into skies, if you're into that sort of thing. But there's mostly clouds. But there's just enough openings in the clouds to tell that it is, in fact, daytime. I think if it was fully cloudy, it'd be pretty dark. So the sun isn't really up over the horizon yet, but it's coming, and it's beautiful. And is it more beautiful in New York State than it is anywhere in the world? I don't think so. I think the morning sky is probably beautiful almost anywhere. I wonder, though, in the countries that don't enjoy freedom, those who dictate, those rulers, Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, Manuel Noriega, Idi Amin, who's ever in charge of Iraq around the Ayatollah, Khomeini years ago. I'm curious. I've always been curious about this. I don't have... Do I have a theory? I don't even know if I have a theory. But these men, it's always men. When's the last time there was an evil woman that was in charge of anything? I think we have to go back to Ma Barker, if that person even exists. I don't even know if that's a character. Shelley Winters played Shelley Winters. Dave, you really can't go back to 1949. Nobody cares about Shelley Winters. But anyway, I think she played Ma Barker in the Batman TV show. Some sort of Ma character. I think it was Shelley Winters. Some of you might remember Shelley Winters from the Poseidon Adventure, or I don't know what movies you might remember her from. Anyway, mostly a comedic actress. I don't know, she probably had more depth than that. Anyway, Shelley Winters, there you go. IMDb, look it up. One of my favorite websites, one of my favorite apps of all time. IMDb. I love that. Internet Movie Database. I love it. I can go on a IMDb jag big time. But I always wondered about these men, these evil men, supposedly evil men. I mean, of course, Hitler. Hitler's in every conversation. Did they ever walk out of their house, wherever they were, their bunker, wherever they might be, 6 o'clock in the morning, and see the sun come up, kind of give themselves a big stretch, I go, that's a beautiful sunrise. I think I'm going to be nice today. I mean, can they appreciate... If you're an evil person, I have a hard time believing... Listen, I'm not going to be a revisionist and say Hitler didn't exist, or say Hitler wasn't evil, and all these other guys that I mentioned weren't evil. It's just so hard to comprehend how you can be a human being, and be evil. But that evil, so evil that you kill. You kill mass murder, not just a couple of people. Like torture, killing, entrapment, imprisonment. Wow, whatever. It's just hard to believe that a human is capable of doing that to other humans. I mean, that's a whole show in itself. But to be one of those men, one of those people in history, hey, you could even talk about the Grim Reaper, or the Grim Reaper. No, the slasher. What's his name? The guy from England that killed. Was he? He wasn't the Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper. What? No, the other guy. The guy in England that went around killing and slashing, whatever. The mad slasher. I don't remember. So it's hard to believe that they can wake up in the morning fully rested. I mean, they're in charge. They have the power. I would assume they can rest. I would assume they can get as much sleep as they want. Open up the back door to wherever they might live. Some of them lived in very nice places. And see that morning sky. And see that sunrise. And not think to themselves for 1 second, wow, what a beautiful day. Kind of having second thoughts about this whole tyranny thing. Being tyrannical. Being a dictator. Being evil. Refusing freedom. Withholding food and drugs and money. Withholding medical supplies from their people. That whole thing. I don't know. Are you deep enough? Have you ever thought a thought like this? Can you get yourself to go beyond what you know about these people from the news? Because if you just make them a one-dimensional character, then of course they don't believe in any of this. Of course you don't believe that these people are capable of any thoughts, because they're a story to you. If it's a one-dimensional character, that all they are, including Hitler, are just killers. And I'm not saying that they're not, I'm just saying, can you consider the possibility they are not one-dimensional, they are two-dimensional, three-dimensional. I'm not sure how many dimensions a human being is supposed to be. But that they would have a side of themselves that in the course of their tyranny, I'm not even sure if I'm using that word right, but in the course of their tyranny, when they see that sunrise, when they see that beautiful sky and cloud formations and the mountains in the distance, which I can see here, the snow-capped mountains, that little sliver of sun coming over the hill, the formation of clouds in different formations, whether it's clouds that look like ducks or clouds in a row, like this long, I forgot what they call that, but these long stretches of cloud, because of the wind or because of the ocean, because of the high pressure area, however, for whatever reason. I know there's names for these formations, because some of them are typical, some of them come back. I just can't imagine being that evil. I can't imagine not having some remorse. Maybe it was a good idea at the beginning. You know what? I'm going to kill all these people. To you, it wasn't a good idea. But I'm saying, I wonder if a lot of these guys or any of these guys, hey, that was a good idea a couple months ago. Now I'm out here on the deck, all by myself out here in Deutschland or Iran or Iraq or wherever these evil people are from. I'm kind of having second thoughts. I'm really starting to feel a little guilt. But who can I talk to? Everybody's afraid of me. I've established myself pretty poorly here, or pretty well as a person to fear. I wonder if any of these people have had any real moments. Real moments. You know what I'm talking about. Just enjoying that beautiful sunrise and enjoying the fact that it's 6 o'clock in the morning and pretty much wherever you are in the world, it's quiet. It's very quiet. The birds are flying around a little, quietly, and they're making their nests. They're foraging for food. There's a tweet. I heard tweet in Brooklyn growing up. I don't hear it so much in my house in upstate New York, which is odd, but I do hear, I see birds. There's nature. I live in the woods. There's nature. I just don't understand how you could be so evil. Listen, I'm 52. I've wanted to kill people all through the course of my life. I'm saying that somewhat in jest, but you know how it is. You get angry, you go, God, I wish that guy would be, I wish he was dead. Is that harsh? Is that too much? I just wish he wasn't here. I just wish he wasn't a part of this, or he or she or whatever. But as tyrannical as I think I could ever be, as much as a murderer as I could possibly ever be, as much of a dictator that I could ever be, treating my people poorly, genocidal, withholding food and drugs and whatever. I still think there's a part of me that could absolutely wake up in the morning and look up in the sky and go, wow, this is such a beautiful Iranian sky. Wow, this Liberian, Libyan sky. Boy, it's so beautiful out here in the Sudan or wherever. I don't even know where that is. What a Gaza Strip gaze over the horizon. Look at that Gaza Strip. Oh, it's beautiful, all lit up. I remember growing up in Brooklyn and the sunrise while driving through Bushwick. Back when Bushwick was, forget about it. Nobody wanted to live in Bushwick. Nobody wanted to die in Bushwick. But now it's gentrified a bit. And I don't know how nice it is, but I remember back in the day, Harlem, parts of Harlem, bad neighborhoods, well, really bad if you're a white person, but not that bad because why would you be there? So I don't know why white people refer to these neighborhoods as bad neighborhoods. You're not going. It's not bad to you. To you, it should be an indifferent neighborhood. You shouldn't be able to check off the box that says bad neighborhood. How is it bad? You're not there. It's good, because that supposed bad neighborhood is not the neighborhood you live in. You live far away in a good neighborhood, mostly white. But we do say that. We the white people, we do say, oh, I can't live there. That's a bad neighborhood. Well, it's bad for you if you live there, but you don't live there, so it's really irrelevant to you. You should call it an irrelevant. That neighborhood's irrelevant. Doesn't make any difference to me at all. But I remember being in Bushwick and the sun rising, and it's just beautiful. Even the brownstones, there's such nice buildings in Bushwick. Some very nice, more than nice buildings. Very nice. Very expensive buildings, I would think. But I think I could appreciate, no matter how tyrannical I am, how much of a murderer I am. And this goes for the evening sky as well. How do you not love the evening sky? Dave, you're really romanticizing this morning. Yeah, well, I was getting a little depressed because I'm out here by myself. I'm exhausted. This is day 5. This is the end of day 5, and right now I'm how many hours am I into this day? I might be 11 hours into this day. I'm not going to do a full 14 today, I don't think. I still got to go get milk because they give us a milk coupon. I still got to get my laundry, because we have a locker at work and they do our laundry. And I got to get fuel for my wife's Honda Fit. So, I got a lot to do today. I can't just go straight home. But I want to get back. I want to get home for this pancake breakfast because I'm in the mood for pancakes. Yeah, it's the 3rd Sunday of every month. So I don't want to miss it. And I don't want to get there too late. And I want to get some sleep today, too. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about these tyrants, these murderers, these heads of these countries. Just find it very hard to understand how you could be. I almost could understand how you could be a murderer and do genocidal things. I don't agree with it, but I can understand how and why. Because you're crazy. Because you're a crazy person. There's no good reason. I hope you don't think I was about to come up with a good reason. You're crazy, so I understand you're crazy. But it's interesting how crazy makes you want to be a dictator and a murderer. But crazy doesn't make you want to go join one of those drinking and painting classes. Oh, I'm crazy. I'm going to go drink and paint. I'm going to go do stand-up comedy. I'm going to immerse myself in the porn industry because I'm crazy. But no, people who are crazy, some of them turn out to be dictators. I think I'll go join the army, and then I'll somehow do something crazy and get some notoriety, and then I'll become a dictator. I don't know. The whole thing is weird. Are all dictators bad and murderers? I don't know. I know that we had one. That's not the answer I wanted to say. I was thinking of something else. So anyway, I find that amazing. I always thought, and I know this is crazy, this whole conversation is crazy, but when I was younger, I would imagine, like Charles Manson, I would imagine these crazy people, because I saw Charles Manson on a documentary or whatever it was, and he was in prison. So I thought to myself years ago, very young, I was young at the time, 10, 12, 13, whatever, I thought to myself, after this interview, Charles Manson is going to be very tired at some point in the day. All dictators get tired. All tyrannical leaders, all murderers, they get tired. And they got to go to sleep. At some point, they got to go to sleep. And I thought to myself, I hate when people laugh when they talk, but I am laughing, and I'm sorry about that, because I haven't said anything funny, but I am laughing at the stuff I'm thinking. So I thought to myself, wow, Charles Manson's going to go to sleep tonight, after this interview with Barbara Walters, or whoever's interviewing him. So he's going to have to put his head down on a pillow, I assume. So I guess the point I'm trying to make, and I didn't really elaborate. I can go back to it. I can go right back to it. I'm going to do that right now after I say this thing. The correlation I'm trying to make, the thing I'm trying to understand is that going to sleep, putting your head on the pillow, things like that, maybe making a slice of toast with butter, is something, even if you're an evil dictator, even if you're a murderer, even if you do genocidal activities in your country, or you're hoarding the medicine, or whatever goes on. There's other things that these people do that are very similar to what we do, which is putting their head on a pillow and maybe folding your hands in a prayer, prayer type formation, or maybe you put your hands underneath the pillow, or maybe you lay on your back and you put your hands behind your neck. But what I'm finding interesting, what I've always found interesting, is what do they do? How do they go to sleep? Really, Dave? These guys are terrible, terrible people. No, I know that, but that's a given. There's nothing I can do about that. What I want to be able to do something about is figure out what are the similarities. We know what the differences are. What are the similarities? Like, do these guys eat like a banana? Do they peel a banana and then they take a bite? They go, "Oh God, that's a great banana." It's a shame I can't sit here and do this all day. I gotta go do some damage to the free world. I gotta go plot a suicide attack or some craziness. So I gotta get my men organized today. I'm gonna lose about 4 or 5 good men today. Ay. So I've always wondered about that. Their daily activities, the brushing of the teeth, their sleeping, how they sleep, what are they wearing? I mean, can you imagine if Hitler, like, he's out there killing Jews, he's out there, with the concentration camps, or whatever it is he was doing, and then at the end of the day, he's tired. He's got to take a shower. He's got to take a bar of soap. That's a horrible reference, but Hitler's got to wash himself. He's got to clean himself. He's interested in his personal hygiene. We all are. So that's the commonality. Commonality. That's what we have in common. Eating food. Do these guys ever go, "Oh man, that is so good. That was a great meal." Watching a sporting event, there's got to be some similarities there. There's similarities. There's things that these guys do that are similar to us. So this is and dumbing it down with Dave. This is, I think, what my buddy Mark was talking about when he wrote that letter a couple of episodes ago. I think so. I don't know, but I'm trying. And the only reason why I'm doing this podcast right now in the truck headed home to Albany is because the inspiration hit me, and I didn't want to do it later in the car because I knew I was going to be dead tired. I'm dead tired now. It's been a long week. But do you think about that? Yeah, see, I'm a listening thought. I don't even know if that's really the right word or phrase. But have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about the commonality, the common, what we have in common with these dictators? They put their head on the pillow the same way you do. They puff it up and they hit it and they turn it over. It's pretty common. Do they enjoy their food? Do they chomp down into anything and go, "Oh man, that's good"? Dave, why do you think this? Why do you think these thoughts? I'll tell you why. Because men are morons, including myself. Men are morons. They're douchebags and they're morons. And this is why we continue to have war. This is why we continue to have problems in the world. At least that's what I think. Because men can't get it together. Men are vindictive. Men are jealous. Men are stupid. It's a sad state of affairs. But there are a lot of commonalities. And I find it interesting. Oh, my nose is so itchy this morning for some reason. That's what I'm pausing. I'm pausing to kind of give my nose a little wake-up call. So anyway, that's basically it. Really, Dave? No, nothing else? I go, no, I guess not. I mean, some of these dictators have children. They have wives. They have children. Didn't Hitler have a wife? Edith? I don't know. Edith? I mean, I would assume that of course, some of these guys had multiple wives, but just imagine that you can actually love somebody and say, I love you. And the guy says, you want a husband and wife? And you go, yeah, I do. So you're having a moment of clarity there. There's a moment of tenderness. And then the wedding's over, you go on your honeymoon, you come back, and then you make a phone call to a guy named John Borman, and you say, John, this is Hitler. It's Adolf. I'm back. Hey, listen, what's the Jew count this week? What? Oh, I've been gone 1 week. How did they do that? All right, well, let's add another 20%. Let's get rid of these guys. Listen, I gotta go. I gotta go back. My wife's waiting for me on the couch in the other room. I mean, that's kind of crazy, right? How else does that happen? I mean, I'm sure it happens other ways, but has that ever happened? I know that if I was a dictator, I wouldn't do any of these things at all, but I think there'd be a little bit of, what was I going to say? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm tired. I'm going to start yawning. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? These guys who are in charge, do they think these thoughts? Do they say these things? Anyway, what do I got here? 27 minutes. That's enough. Did I mention Pipe Dream? My buddy, Mike at 3D. Mike at 3D? Mike 3D. Mike, it's not Mike 3D. It's Mike. They call him 3D. He's got two co-hosts. One guy's name is Jefferson. The other one is Joseph Green. Every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, they do Pipe Dream. Pipe Dream. And, okay, so yeah, Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. So I've been listening to that show and commenting and stuff like that. Trying to take an active role. All right, that's it. Pipe Dream and the Comedy Pipe Network. www.comedypipenetwork.com. Google Comedy Pipe, whatever. They air the shows Wednesdays at 8. You see it on YouTube. Or you can just listen to it. So you're good there. Well, that's it, folks. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm exhausted. I am really exhausted. But now I'm up here north of Coxsackie. There's Saugerties, Catskill, Coxsackie, then there's Selkirk, and then Albany. I might take a nap when I get back to Albany. I got plenty of time. But I don't want to be up here too long and miss the breakfast that my wife wants to go to. And I also I gotta submit some laundry in, so I have fresh shirts next week. Yeah, I think that's it. That was good. I just wanted to mention that. I saw this beautiful skies this morning. It inspired me to call. And then when I got past them, I got past some people that are ahead of me, and I was watching the sunset and the sunrise and all that stuff, listening to music. It was just beautiful, and I wanted to call and share it with somebody. That's what it was. I want to share my sunrise with somebody. All right, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I think I'm going to publish all 3 episodes this week. Episode 13, 14, and 15, I think, is what they are. This one will probably be called, I don't know what it'll be called. I don't know. I'm so tired. Who knows? Thank you, dum-dums. Appreciate you tuning in to Dumbing It Down with Dave. My name is Dave Canyon, your one and only solo host for this podcast. And, oh my God, degradation. Whee! I'm going downhill fast. All right, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good day, good night, good luck, and great skills. Take care. Bye.